Hello. Hello. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testes. 1, 2, 3. Testicles. 1, 2, 3. Balls. 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. You've passed the test. It wouldn't be me if I didn't do something super fucking silly. You know? It just wouldn't be me if I wasn't a little dorky and a little silly. Hi. Welcome to the Mimi Morning Show. Morning show, morning show, the Mimi Morning Show. Oh, I am your hostess with the mostest, Evelyn Mimi J. Evelyn with 2 N's. Correct your spell checks. And this is Mimi Morning Show. All right, there is a lot to talk about. Um, I am live on, as you can see me, I am live on X, YouTube, and now the arena. So the arena is on the blockchain. So, hi, blockchain world. Um, it feels really cool to try out and be a part of I keep playing with the mic. I'm fidgeting. What's wrong with me? Fidgeting. Why am I fidgeting? Why am I scared? If you know, you know. Um, anyways, so um shout out to the Arena app and the community on Avalanche, Avalanche blockchain. It's really cool to be a part of the community and be able to test decentralized applications, dApps. Speaking of dApps, Tasty Talks. New episode of Tasty Talks is out. It's an audio only episode. So what I do is, okay, the crisscross applesauce. Hold on, tweak it. Okay. So what I do is sometimes I will go live. I will do Tasty Talks live. And then afterwards, I will lightly edit. That's part of the reason why I like to go live because I don't have to really have to edit a lot. and then lightly edit and push it to Spotify, Apple, and YouTube as part of a podcast. So it'll be like an audio only episode. So that's what I did this week. It was late. Please excuse me. The internet was pretty much out on Monday. A lot of web services rely on AWS and their web services, which I mean, everyone's like, oh, they're unreliable. Not necessarily true. I am not an AWS practitioner yet. I don't know if I will be. I don't know. I started doing the certification for it, and then school, like my other classes, like came up. Um, ugh, that's been a thing. That class. It's really fun, don't get me wrong. Like I'm enjoying it. I'm actually finding that I'm a pretty damn good project manager. I'm also finding that I don't like project management because it's like babysitting. Because you got to make sure everyone's on the same page. Oh, did you do this? I don't like doing that shit. We grown. You know what you signed up for. Do it, damn it. Like, ugh. So I definitely want to be more on the technical side of things in technology. My other role is also a secure code analyzer on this project, as well as being a project manager. So with that said, yeah, so um, damn, I went off on a too much of a tangent. What the fuck was I saying? And no one's in the chat to remind me. Yeah. Well, anyways, welcome to the Mimi Morning Show. Oh, Tasty Talks. Yes. So Tasty Talks is now out. Oh yeah, AWS was out. We all know pretty much the internet was out all day on Monday because of AW. Well, not all day for some. It was a big part. So I guess it was Amazon Web Services East was out. So anyone who was relying on that part, like on the East, like connected to that, which I've learned a little bit as an AWS practitioner, taking the certification. Oh yeah, I was talking about the certification, how I kind of stopped because of school and stuff. So like what I've kind of learned a little bit as like taking the course, like in the beginning, is that like there are different it's best to actually don't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's actually kind of not really AWS's fault. I need to check myself on this too because I'm not 100% like confident in this answer I'm about to give. But to my recollection, to my understanding, it's not 100% AWS's fault. It's kind of the business's fault because they put all of their eggs in one basket. Like if a business relies on AWS to make their platform run, they should actually, of course, they should concentrate like having their server where their customers are the most. If you have customers on the East Coast, on the east side of the United States, duh, have that. However, you should also, businesses should also like have West Coast too, just in case things like this happen. So it's not necessarily everyone's looking at AWS. Oh, they're unreliable, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I think it's just one time. Well, at least a huge outage like this is one time, from to my knowledge, right? And how long has AWS been around? Quite some time, right? So I mean, not quite some time, but you know what I mean. Like they're not super brand new to this. At this point, they're kind of true to it. All right. So with that said, I think it's on the businesses to then say, hey, and maybe they've learned their lessons from this. So to be honest, it'll probably be, if anything, it won't, it may not worsen. It may hurt AWS a little bit, but not really. It could actually be kind of a good moment for them, for like practitioners, which I'm studying. Well, eh, it's on the back burner because everything, I have a lot of things on my plate. But for what I've learned about being an AWS practitioner, you have to, I would tell a client to say, hey, you learn a lesson from this. You might want to actually have some backup. So you might actually want to set up multiple, I don't know if it's called servers. I'm not exactly sure the terminology is, what I need to check myself on this. But you need to have, don't put your eggs all in one basket. Don't just use AWS East. Okay. Use West. Okay. Like, especially like if your demographic is mainly in the United States, use both. Hell, if there's a central, I think there is, use central, use all of it so that in case in case something happens, an outage happens, you have backup and then you can route your users, okay, of your platform users, you can route them to, you have backup because your internet, your website will still work, your platform will still work because you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. Now, um, of course, people who, if businesses do that, location matters. So if a business, if their users are mainly based on the East, then of course, people on the East in that region are going to, and it's everything is on the concentrated on the West now because they did have that backup. It's going to be slower, but it'll still work, is the point. So, moral of the story, this is really honestly to businesses to take a look and be like, all right, maybe we need to rethink some things, not put everything in one basket, all the eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? So it might actually, this could be a selling point. AWS, if you're watching practitioners, I'm giving you game right now, pretty much for fucking free. I mean, it's all record, but so maybe I could come for you and get some money. I own 10%. Actually, oh, fuck that. I own 100% because hello, my brain, it's my idea. I'm the one saying it, right? So, my thing, it might actually help AWS because then their practitioners can turn around and be like, well, why don't you upgrade? Why don't you add more services? So this doesn't happen again. You saw how much potential, maybe if it's an e-commerce site, you saw how much money you lost. You saw how much downtime. You see how much downtime has screwed you over. Up your ante. Put your money where your mouth is, like quite literally. So, and then they could have like a little, like, I don't know, like a little like promo or something. I don't know. Teach their own. But speaking of, like I said, Tasty Talks is now out. I did I was able to edit, like I said, lightly edit um the live episode yesterday, turned it into last night rather, turned it into a okay, we're good. Um, turned it into an audio only episode. God damn, we're not good. Ugh, hold on. Excuse me. What the hell? What is in my throat? Don't answer that. Don't answer that question. Hmm. Uh, so Yeah, so I turned that live into an audio only episode that is out on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. So go check that out. You can follow Tasty Talks on X, where you're currently watching this live, listening, whatever, at Tasty Talks Pod. And then on YouTube, it's just follow me on YouTube, Emily Mimi J. So, sips coffee. Yes, so AWS was out. Internet was out. There's actually, I named, this is the first time I've actually named like given my live stream a title, which is a week full of surprises. I came up with that last night as I had a late night with editing and shipping out um, the taste the episode, Tasty Talks episode. Um, Speaking of shipping out, oh, I really want to enter this apathon. I don't think I'm going to have time. It's due today. And then what I wanted to do, I don't think I'll be able to do. Plus, I have other stuff. Fuck a duck. We'll see. We'll see after when I get off of here. Maybe I can throw something together in like 4 hours. Maybe I can try to do what I can. Maybe I can make a shorter version um, of the app in a few hours to send. Um, yeah. Anyways, so it has been a week full of surprises in WWE, in music, which is what I'm covering. I actually have notes today, y'all. I am coming more prepared, more and more prepared each time. Clap for me. Um, Tech, USA, like here in the United States with Department of Homeland Security. Um, a lot of surprises to cover. A week full of surprises, even for me personally. Uh, to cover. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. First, I want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge Tribal Chiefess herself, Miss Russell Faith. Hi, I hope you're doing better. Everyone, shout out to Russell Faith, and please send your your healing, loving, and supportive energy to her as she hasn't been feeling very well, and yeah, she needs speedy recovery. Send her your positive energy, send prayers. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. It means so much more to me that you are here. Well, not that, okay, bad with words right now. That was bad. Okay. You know what I mean. You know, girl, you know what I mean, okay? You don't have to be here, but you are, and I know you're not feeling well. So that's what I mean. I'm gonna stop there, period, because wordsmithing right now in this second, I gotta drink this apparently, um, to do better. Shout out to Russell Faith and the Acknowledge the Dynasty podcast, which I actually interviewed them on Tasty Talks as well. Also, shout out to Nessa. Hey, girl. Welcome. Thank you for also popping in and always and putting together those amazing videos, like promotional videos for Culture Clash Network, which, by the way, you knew it was coming. Yes. Shout out to the Culture Clash family. Hold on, pause. Shout out to Marks and Mikes on that. that they're also a part of some hold on, I'm actually gonna show. I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, now it says no comment. There we go. Liars, there are comments. So let me check Arena real quick. Hold on. Are people in chat on Arena? No, just viewing. Well, I hope you're enjoying the show, Arena. All right, hope you're enjoying the show on chain. So, um, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and start with that. Is that, let me see. Yeah, while we're on that subject. So, I yesterday, all right, if you're unfamiliar, if you're a watcher, a viewer right now, I'm sure you are familiar with the Culture Clash Network. If you've been listening to me on this show on Tasty Talks, then you know about the Culture Clash Network. If you don't know, oh, you're gonna learn today, baby, because they, we are a part of specifically the Humble Roses podcast, which airs today at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Um, had a is part of like, I think it's definitely part of the reason why I call this show today a week full of surprises. So I am yesterday. I'm gonna paint the scene for you. I yesterday am minding my own business, just chilling on my computer, wrapping up the day. Well, not really wrapping up the day. I'm kind of behind. We had just got done with our meeting, Culture Clash meeting, and I'm like, okay, now I need to start editing and getting and pushing out Tasty Talks episode, right? I put on NXT yesterday. So I'm editing on this computer, on this laptop, watching NXT on the other one. I'm chilling. I don't have coffee, but I have water, you know. All right, cool. Scene set. All of the sudden, I'm listening to Dallas, who is a part of Humble Roses. Humble Roses podcast, again, airing today, later on, um, at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going live. Um, and they're down here in this marquee. You should see them. So I'm doing my thing and I'm multitasking. And I look up and I have it on my phone because the internet was weird yesterday. My internet has been if I could strangle the Wi-Fi, I could actually. I found out where it was. It's in the closet. Anyway, sorry. So I look up, I'm on my phone's right here. I look up and I see on screen with Dallas, I see Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux. And I'm like, holy crap. Holy shit chance. Holy shit chance. Like, definitely insert right there. Perfect timing, right? I'm like, oh my God. I literally typed, oh my God, hi, in the chat. Like literally, those are like literally my I was like, oh my God, hi. I usually do like type what I think and say, like, um, so double fisty right now. So, yeah. So Dallas always says on the Humble Roses podcast, he always says, you never know who's gonna pull up. You never know who's gonna be on. So, I mean, That's true. You never know who's going to be on. So far, in the last few weeks, Hummer Rose's podcast has had Santino Morella, DJ Ashton Martin, uh, before some months ago, Chaz Warrington, at Banger Mosh, now Killer Cross. That is epic. And follow them at Humble Roses Pod on YouTube. You never know who is going to pull up, you know, to that show. And just in life, you never know who's going to pull up. You never know who's going to see you. Put your best foot forward. Be you. It's not even so much. I mean, I'll even take that back. It's not even so much putting your best foot forward. It's just showing the fuck up. Showing up, showing out, and just being you. Showing out meaning like being you and just being honest and true and authentic. And they will come. And that's exactly what happened. And that yesterday was just proof. Proof is in the pudding. Shout out to Dallas Cash. Shout out to the Hummer Roses podcast. Shout out to all of CCN who supported Dallas and the Humble Roses podcast and they continue to support. Shout out to the people who follow and support CCN on a regular, consistent basis. And I include myself in that. Thank you. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all y'all watching. Shout out to all y'all reposting. Shout out to all y'all commenting. Everything. Because y'all are what make this fun. You know, like this is fun shit for me. Like it really is. Like hopping on here and doing the Mimi Morning Show and doing Tasty Talks and interviewing people. And it's fun. It's a good time. There's also intention behind it. Don't get it twisted. Because I always have like an intention, something, as you should, with everything that you do. But yeah, like people showing up, commenting, seeing me, it's what makes it fun. I don't know, with me, I'm the type of person that even if I did it, have y'all, I think I would still have fun. Cause that's just, I don't know. I would still have fun, but y'all make it extra fun. So thank you for that. And you don't have to, you're choosing to. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone's time and everyone's energy. I do. Hell, even the haters and the lurkers. You're watching, you're learning. Well, maybe you're not because you're a hater. So, anyways, don't want to get too down, don't want to get too off tangent. Because I surely can. I don't want to get too off tangent. I have a lot of stuff to cover, to share with y'all. As far as newsworthy things, WWE recaps, and all of the like. Just grabbing my water here. I voted. So I live in California and there's a special election for Prop 50. And you damn right I voted. Duh. I voted. That's one thing I love. Okay, so I live in California. You know what? I've just come to terms with California is expensive, but it's worth it. I've lived in Phoenix. I've lived in Houston. So I lived in Arizona and Texas. Cali is just home. I'm a Cali girl through and through. For those of you who know me, you know. I am, and one thing I love, speaking of voting, is like the first thing when you come to California, literally the first, I'm not kidding. Like I'm joking, but I'm not. Like it's the first thing is like, you registered to vote? It's like, yeah. So, anyways, yes, I voted. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and um aw, love you too. Oh, that's a good one. Love you too. Love, love, big love. Love you too, Faith. Um, so let's get a poppin', or more poppin', I should say. Oh, I got some people on the arena follow me. Yay. Glad that means you're enjoying. Thank you. I forgot to like I forgot to like post. So I I joined a bunch of these like streamer things. Okay, so I'm sure I'm not the only one who is a member of all these Discord servers. I'm addicted to Discord servers. I need Discord servers anonymous. Actually, I don't. No, I don't. Fuck that. Um, but but I love a good Discord server. I don't know what it is. I just do. So I'm a part of like all these communities and stuff like that. Even on X, I'm a part of communities, streamer communities where people like share their, you know, their lives and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm live. And I meant to do that and I did not. I will one day. Hopefully next week. But I'm getting better and better each week. I have notes right here. Everything is organized. I'm getting better, y'all. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for your patience, your support, every fucking thing. Now, let's get to it. Let's talk a little tech, just real quick here. So, what specifically I want to talk about is just yesterday, I saw an article. Let me find it about OpenAI. So, OpenAI actually launched their own browser. OpenAI, who are the creators of ChatGPT, launched Atlas, which is their own version of a browser. So like it's basically it is to compete with Google Chrome. So it's a brand new web browser that puts artificial intelligence at the center of how we surf the internet. Atlas lets you ask questions, summarize pages, and even complete tasks like filling out forms, all without switching tabs. It's rolling out first for Mac users with Windows and mobile next. The move puts OpenAI in direct competition with Google Chrome and could totally change how we find and interact with information on the internet. So, I'm going to put the link in the chat if you guys want to read it, the article for yourselves. If you can see it, let me know if you can see that. Okay, it should be on YouTube. And then I will put it here. Although the links are, yeah, it's not clickable, but whatever. You know what's up. All right, on Arena. Now, yes, so this is quite interesting, especially because I actually did a little more digging into this topic and also found that OpenAI had put a bid in for Google. to like buy Google or like Google Chrome, I think. So that was, I think that's what the article also highlights is the fact that OpenAI put in this bid, right, to buy, and there's actually other, this is the season of bidding, I guess, because isn't, I mean, I don't want to, I'm not going to go far down this tangent until maybe if I have time to cover it for WWE portion for WWE recaps. But isn't Netflix trying to buy Warner Brothers? There's a pattern going on. Netflix is trying to buy Warner Brothers. And then now you hear about OpenAI, which I didn't know about. I don't know if it happened like months ago. It had to have. It probably, I don't know if it just happened. But now OpenAI is talking about buying Google or Google Chrome. Probably, I think just the browser. I have to look at that again. But yes, so now what is happening is, I mean, that presents a conflict, right? Because you want to buy the browser, but then you have your own browser. So then it's like, if you want to do both, I don't even know, can they possibly? I mean, they probably can. In this day and age, anything is fucking possible, right? Um, so what would be the point? I know the answer. I think I know the answer. Um, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Um, I thought that was interesting. I saw that and I was like, huh, all right. I don't know if already use a lot of browsers, different browsers for different things. I don't use all the time. So I don't think I'll be using that. Plus, more tracking. It's pretty much like what you can count on from OpenAI is them having access to way more data, you know? I mean, they have access to a lot of data now because people put all their business in ChatGPT, pretty much, so they can use it, make the most out of it. But Atlas, the actual browser, especially like on your computer, on your on your on your laptop, yeah, your desktop, on your mobile device. You know how much information they could have access to like now? Like even more so like I'm talking like credit card numbers, banking information, things of that nature. Whatever you kind of have used like technology to help automate some things, passwords, even if you have like, even if you have like a password, like vault, possibly. I know LastPass is a Chrome browser extension. And if we're being 100% honest, LastPass is not the best option for protecting your passwords. They have been breached before. I know because I was a user, I still have my account there. I don't you I Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should delete the account. But I don't use LastPass anymore. I don't log on. I don't use it. And a lot of the passwords that are on there from websites, I don't even go to those websites anymore. But still, it would be good hygiene for me. It'd be good security hygiene for me to go revoke access and things of that nature. I gotta lead by example, right? Right now, I am drinking a protein shake. But I also occasionally dabble in energy drinks. So if you also are an energy drinker, you're an energy drinker, then you will appreciate jitter-free energy from W Energy. W Energy is a partner of Culture Clash Network. And if you use my code Evelyn Mimi J, you can get 10% off your order. There's the code. There you go. You're welcome. So yeah, that was very interesting about OpenAI. Very interesting. Muy interesante. Muy interesante. So actually, I think I'm gonna try doing something. Uh, 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 uh. Pause while I do this. I'm putting it in the chat. So, on to the next thing to talk about. So, next we have music. Now, this is not necessarily news, but I came across an article um, last week in which Michael Archer Jr., who is D'Angelo's and Angie Stone's son, talks about grieving his parents, who he basically lost back to back. My sincerest condolences go out to Mr. Archer Jr. because for those of you who know me, my mom passed when I was 15. She was a single parent though. Um, and she did the best she could as a single mom. Um, However, she kept me from my father for personal reasons. And so I never got to know him. So, although this is a different situation in which Michael Archer Jr. knew knew his parents and had both of them in his life and then lost them, which is completely different, which is a different loss. Um, and a different, especially different compared to my experience. Um, I still resonate and my heart still goes out to him. So, um, yeah, put together a little something to kind of read and just say. So, just acknowledging Michael Archer Jr. It's been a heartbreaking year for the son of R&B legends D'Angelo and Angie Stone. Michael Archer Jr., who performs as Suavo Twain, shared a powerful message this week, or rather last week now, after losing his father, D'Angelo, to cancer. It comes just months after the passing of his mother, Angie Stone, in a car accident earlier this year. In an emotional Instagram post, Michael wrote, "He was there when I needed him most, and after the passing of my mama. Unfortunately, time ran out." The 27-year-old artist reflected on carrying both his parents' musical legacies while carving out his own path. And Also, tributes have poured in from across the music world, as you guys can imagine. People like Missy Elliott, Jill Scott, and even Beyonce um, have honored both D'Angelo and Angie Stone, who for sure, undoubtedly defined the sound of neo soul, taking us back to the 90s, which honestly was the best time for all music, in my humblest of opinions. Like, legit, fight me. Like, fight me on that. Because, mm, fight me. There are a lot of people who will, um, there are a lot of people who will back me up on that. So, um, while D'Angelo and Angie Stone may be gone, through their son and their music and their timeless music, their rhythm still plays on. So, yeah, I saw that. That caught my attention. And yeah, I decided to put that in. Whoops, didn't mean to click that. I decided to put that in here. So, going on to, for those asking in the chat, what is this about? Well, let me remind you. Let me hold on. There's the answer to your question. All right. So, another topic I found quite interesting, something that happened earlier this week. So, this is on X. So, this is like US, this is news. This is what I mentioned about Homeland Security. So, let me see if I can pull this up. Apparently, now Homeland Security is, um, where is it? Hold on. Did it disappear? Here we go. So, huh, I don't know if y'all saw this. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. So, Homeland Security is apparently going on X, formerly known as Twitter, to post receipts. Like legit, the Department of Homeland Security. Hold on. You, let me show you. Let me share my screen. This is some, this is cray. I'm like, what? I saw this. And I want to make sure, hold on, because it gets, I don't want to click that. I don't know what it's going to do. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so one of my mutuals posted this Homeland Security and Twitter beefs. Good Lord. Which at first I responded, oh my God, we have the receipts. And I'm looking at this like, wow, kind of like the same reaction that she had. Um, However, I did some digging. Upon further investigation, through the comments, something fishy is going on. I smell AI. One, inconsistent usernames. Two, different outfits and captions from the original and alleged videos. You can even see that in the DHS post here. Oy vey. Yeah. So DHS is responding to this person saying, never admit you're wrong, double down on ignorant, because why not? Someone posted, this person posted posted saying that this person here, I'm not going to play the video or anything, saying that this person did um like basically sent out a threat on TikTok via video to ICE right here. You can see like in here, right here, like this right here. Okay. And then Homeland Security, we have the receipts. Okay. So they're doubling down. So basically, what's this guy is saying in the video, and he's explaining himself, and he's saying, like, hey, I didn't do this. Like, well, he put the video out, but it wasn't directed at ICE. It was basically like saying, see, like, look at this. This is like the original. This is the original, what he posted. Talking about, he said, "You seen what we can do. Don't say something that you can't finish. Iran, we are ready for the smoke. We stand." So United States, like, you know what I'm saying? So that was the original. However, it got tweaked. You can even see the difference in outfits and everything in the background. There's a different name and everything. Then it got tweaked. ICE were on the way. You know what I'm saying? So basically, DHS is backing this claim, Colin Ruggs' claim, doubling down on it, saying, like, okay, well, he did this, and now he's trying to say that he didn't do it. So they said this young man posted violent threats of murder against our law enforcement. He then deleted it when he was called out and attempted to deny all wrongdoing. We have a receipt, and the internet is forever. The willful ignorance and intentional blindness of or by leading Democrats to them. Okay, I'm just whatever. I don't want to get too in a rabbit hole with this. They're doubling down and saying that he tried to cover it up, which could in fact be the case. However, why why is everyone jumping to conclusions, or why jump to that conclusion and say that he's lying, that he didn't do it, when clearly, even if you go back, you look at the videos and the photos and everything, things are different caption, different, like, the guys in the background are different. Obviously, it was edited. Obviously, there's different names. Like, how many times do people go on social media and find that they're being impersonated? Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So, like, it is quite possible that someone did that. Went on his, he has a big following on TikTok, which people that go and impersonate and create like scam accounts or whatever they're trying to do, like, they will go after bigger accounts. So who's to say that that guy is not telling the truth? He could be telling the truth and he could not be. But why would Department of Homeland Security take it upon themselves to go on social media and engage with constituents and do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of weird. I am so looking into this, it's actually, I mean, it's funny, but it's not. The reason I say that is because this could be bad, not only for him, but for many young people of color online, or just anyone, honestly. Like, but specifically, I mean, let's just keep it a buck. People of color, Black folks online who are speaking out against, I mean, wasn't like, a congressman, or not a congressman, mayor, someone higher up, maybe it was a congressman, someone higher up, I think he's representative for California. He got slammed to the ground by law enforcement after he announced, like, hey, he announced who he is, and he was just speaking out and like giving his perspective and opinion, and he was slammed to the ground by what, ICE or something? Like, so this is basically kind of like a snowball of something like people being forced into compliance, people being forced into shutting the fuck up and not saying anything. People trying, like just trying to be just this huge thing of people trying to be silent, of this huge push of silencing the people. So that's going on. Crazy, crazy. So, because what's happening now is a lot of people are looking to social media influencers and people with followings, and they're kind of looking to them and trusting them more than the people in authority. And of course, when you're trying to run a dictatorship, you're trying to that's a problem. So then try to silence them and then make them an example and then try to scare everyone else into compliance. Um, so yeah, that's crazy. Um, Next, I actually have been jumping kind of back into um, kind of going on about giving flowers and shout outs to people. So I've been, as you guys know, just shifting here. Hold on. I love this chair. Emerge gamer chair. It is like the best investment. My whole setup, it was costly to upgrade. Well, at least for me, okay? Price, when you kind of look back, it actually wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't. It could have been worse. Could have been not worse, but it could have been more. But everything it has been a great investment. Now, I do need this investment to pay off. But so far, it's been a great investment. And it will pay off because for school too, I sit here a lot. Anyway, so as you know, I am involved in Web3. I'm a blockchain baddie. That is not my term. Okay. I didn't come up with that. It's been around for a minute, but a lot of people like when I say it, blockchain baddie. It's cute. I know, right? So, I have been dabbling more into Web3 spaces, especially since I am active on the arena and also building on chain. And I have discovered that there's a good amount of Web3 artists, like musicians, like producers, who put their beats out for people to like purchase with crypto or, just to share. And I actually meant to queue up some of those playlists today, but didn't have time. But yeah, so while I was dabbling in Web3 spaces and specifically like Web3 music spaces, I remembered that I have a mutual named Stu Kwan, and I used to be in his Twitter/X spaces conversations back in like 2020, 2021 when I started getting into crypto and highlighting starting my journey through NFTs. So I would go into his spaces and like just listen and learn, and then also contribute by giving my insights into marketing and business development and sales, like the business side, the business side of launching an NFT project. So, and I saw him and we still follow each other and stuff. And I was just like, oh, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Stu One on X, just to say, because again, speaking of shout outs, um, make sure that you are following the Culture Clash Network, our partners, W and Tacos and Tequila, and make sure that you're following me, Evelyn Mimi J, on all platforms except for TikTok. It's Hey Mimi J. And yeah, I stopped going live on TikTok because I can't go live through my PC, like on my desktop. I think maybe I was swearing too much. Because I had the permission and then it got revoked. So I don't know, it was either like the music or I was swearing too much. Probably both. So yeah, yeah. Anyways, uh, next. All right. We're going to talk about, or rather, I am going to start recapping WWE. The week in WWE, starting from last Friday, because I do the Mimi Morning Show every Wednesday. So from Friday to yesterday, that's the week. So we're going to be looking at, so I'm going to be, I took notes too. SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. Um, so I'm going to start with SmackDown. Oh, also, I posted let me see if I can find it real quick. I posted a poll. So the poll is, oh, wrong thing, wrong post. All right. So if you're on X at all, I am going to repost this. Mm. Okay. Add copy. Okay. So I posted on X. Let me actually share my screen real quick so you can see it. So I posted on X. Um, so I had I'm not kidding. I woke up this morning and I had a theme song stuck in my head, a pro wrestler's theme song stuck in my head. Okay, so hold on, you can't see it. There we go. So I was like, you know what? I'm going live. Might as well create a poll to see if you can guess which one it is. So if you want to vote, I'm going to put the link in the chat and you can let me know. So far, CM Punks is winning. Interesting. Muy interesante. I know. I'm sorry, YouTube, you can't participate in this poll. I mean, unless you're on X, then you can click the link. So and then I'll let you know at the end of the show. All right. So now I'm going to talk about SmackDown. So, of course, the big, the big, pretty much kind of the only thing that happened on SmackDown. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Um, was Ilya Dragunov. He returned and he he won. Now, the championship from Sami Zayn. So now, um, I want to share. There was like, okay, so I was watching SmackDown, and I actually, before I started watching SmackDown, I saw murmurings, like I saw tweets, posts, whatever you want to call them, um, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And people, there were little murmurs of like, I saw like maybe like one, I only saw one account. And I don't think this was the post I'm going to share. I don't think this was it, but this was the account. But some people were saying, like, what if he came back? So here's one of the posts that I was able to find. Um, Finesse, Pro W Finesse, shout out to you. Um, Imagine if we get this match on SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn. That was on Friday at 10:40 a.m. So um that was well before SmackDown. You know, it wasn't right before, it was well before that they posted this. And then it wasn't just this person, it was I couldn't find the original one I saw because I think it was a mutual. I don't think I follow this account. I don't. It was a mutual account, I think. So basically, an account that I um, follow already, and um, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Oh yeah. So I saw that, and I was like, okay, interesting. And then we actually got the match, and I was in I was in the ATD, Acknowledge the Dynasties watch along. And I even asked the question, like before the match happened, I was like, or before it started, I was like, do y'all think that Ilya's gonna take it? And then one of the ladies said, no, he just came back from injury. What happened? He got it. And I don't know, I was just like, I saw, like, I was watching, I was just like, what if they did? Like during the match. And it was a great match, by the way. If you watched it, I'm sure you were very pleased with the match. Everyone loved this match. It was a great match. Um, so yeah. Let me see if I can pull up just very briefly. Cause I don't want I get marked with copyright. I get like so I'm just gonna kinda so also Solo. So how Ilya was actually even able to pull off the win. Well, not saying that he wasn't gonna be able to win no matter what. Like he was saying that wasn't going to happen anyway, but it is presented that Solo Sokoa, he came along and he distracted Sami Zayn. So, and show you. I'm trying not to get, I'm trying not to upset YouTube with the copyright shit. So here, you can see there's Solo, there's Sammy. See, he comes out in the middle of the match and then he distracts Sammy. And then after he distracts him, da 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 da, Ilya is able to get the pin and wins. So now we have a new champ. Um, was that, you think they got it right? I think so. I do. Now this kind of frees up Sammy. Oh, so that's gonna put Sammy back in the bloodline shit, isn't it? Ah. Just realized that. I just made that connection. Oy vey. Yeah. So that means Sami Zayn is now back in bloodline business. Ah, I mean, they're running it back. I mean, okay. So, Acknowledge the Dynasty podcast, shout out to them. They recommended that I go back and watch like 2020 Gold Glove Roman Reigns. Now, I didn't necessarily find that exact video on YouTube. However, I did watch the fucking 4 hour. There is a there's a 4 hour bloodline recap from like 2020 to basically present. Like it's 4 hours long. Um, and it's basically like telling the bloodline story, or at least like the main parts of it, from 2020 to present ish, like as present as we can get, like present day, like recent, right? I watched it 4 hours. I didn't. I kind of stopped a little bit at towards the end when it was the Timu bloodline, because I didn't really like that bloodline. Just like what they did with like the Judgment Day. Like I didn't really like that. I was like, oh, you know. So I kind of, but I got the gist. Okay, and Sami Zayn, I have some insights about that that I would actually like to share, but it's gonna have to be another video. Maybe it'll be a tasty, maybe I'll have it on Tasty Talks. Maybe it'll be a tasty tidbit. I don't know. Maybe I can talk about it with somebody. I don't know. But I would love to um sit down and have that conversation and just kind of like as I took notes. Um and yeah, so bringing Sami Zayn back into like the whole bloodline fold of things, it did make for good TV. It did. It did. It did. It did what it had to do. It made for good TV. Um, it's just like I understand because I know it makes for good TV, but I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it necessarily. I mean, who the fuck am I, right? Though, like I'm a consumer. Um, but and I talk about things and stuff, but I mean, of course, duh, like they're gonna WWE and other wrestling promotions are gonna do things that not everyone likes, but if it's good for business, like they're gonna do it. So it's like one of those things, I'm still gonna watch. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know if I like it. I just thought about that. Yeah. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Russell Faith, if you're still listening, I know you got some thoughts, girl. I know you got some thoughts. If you still listening, and you probably type it. If you can, you probably type it right now. I know you got some thoughts. Uh, so, yeah. So that happened. And then of course Jacob Fatu, my poor Samoan werewolf, got his teeth knocked out. Now, like legit, I don't know if he like legit got his teeth knocked out or like if he like this was crazy. Like this, hold on. I gotta show you the screenshot. This is and just FYI, this is real. Like this is real. Teeth were really on the floor. Um, blood was there. So yeah, that is what happened. Jacob Fatu has been attacked in the parking lot. His teeth are on the ground. Yeah, that happened. He was about to have a match. I think with Drew McIntyre, right? He was about to have a match. And of course, that match did not happen because he got his teeth knocked out. Um, so yeah, that happened, right? Because yes, that's what happened. I'd look at my notes to make sure. Um, so that happens. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Looking at it again, I'm just like, oh goodness. Ooh. Ooh, Lord. Ugh. Uh. All right. So I don't know who done it. Right now, I don't feel like because shortly after, so he's supposed to have a match with Drew McIntyre. Shortly after, Cody Rhodes comes or Drew McIntyre comes out, and the first thing out of Drew's mouth is he is basically mocking and laughing at Jacob Fatu for what just happened. So his case for me is not clear. Like I'm just like, yeah, I don't believe him when he says that he didn't do it. Of course, there's a chance that he didn't do it, that he was just being Drew. He was just being Drew. It was just like, like whatever. But so far, I'm not believing his innocence. Um, so there's that. After that, in which Cody Rhodes comes out to confront Drew. And he was different, y'all. He was different. He got in there in his street clothes and he was fighting. He had a little bit of seasoning, a little bit. He had a little bit of seasoning, he had a little bit of, yeah. He wasn't as dry. He had some salt and pepper, like look at that. He was just different. And I don't know what this means for his character, but I kind of liked it. I know people have been kind of waiting for Cody to like, oh my God, he needs to hurry up and turn heel because he's like a pure baby face and has been for a long time, and it's kind of boring. Um, but I mean, he's still, even though as like a pure baby face, he's uh, still doing the damn thing. So, but um, yeah, I don't know. So is this, I don't know. I feel like maybe there are little nuggets here and there that could kind of maybe you can kind of look at and say, like, oh, yeah, they're building up for him to turn heel or do something like out of character. This was actually to me, this is actually kind of one of them. So one of the things, one of the other nuggets just added to the collection. So that was it for those are my notes for SmackDown. I know I didn't cover everything because there was actually a tag match um, between Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Sol Ruka and Zarya that I will mention again when I'm doing the NXT recap because um, that plays into NXT a little bit more. And also actually leads up to Halloween Havoc, which is taking place this Saturday. NXT Halloween Havoc. So then, so that was Friday night on SmackDown. Then we have Monday Night Raw. So Monday Night Raw, business as usual. Okay, we start off with obviously the elephant in the room, Seth freaking Rollins, who is injured. I don't think it's a work this time, you guys. I don't think so. Last time I called it, last time I called that being a work, everyone and people were even actually, no, it's not. He's really injured. I'm like, have you been watching social? Like he kept saying he was going to go to the doctor, never went to the doctor. Like he kept pushing it off. He was making appearances still, you know? Yeah, so I called it last time. I called that as a work last time. I don't think this one's a work. If it is, he deserves that would be a holy shit chant moment for sure. Hey, John, thank you for joining on YouTube. Thank you for listening. You came in right on time. Just got done recapping my notes from SmackDown, and now I'm talking about Raw. Shout out to John, who is also part of the Culture Clash Network. He is on Sports for You and Sports for You Wrestling, and which you can check out on YouTube. And they also have a profile on X. They have a presence on X and YouTube. And I believe they also have a show tonight too. Um, I believe their show starts at, is it 7 or 7:30 Pacific? John, you can feel free to plug and mention that in the chat. Sports for You Wrestling, I want to say. Okay. So yeah. So Raw starts off addressing the elephant in the room, which is Seth freaking Rollins and his injury, which again, I don't think is a work this time. And like I said, I called it last time for those y'all who, yeah, I had even went as far. I need to pull up the receipts. I had even went as far as to I think I took screenshots. I even went as far as to say he's gonna come out in a I said he was gonna come out in a bedazzled ass wheelchair. I didn't say crutches. But god damn it, it was fucking close. We came out on those crutches and dropped him in his bedazzled ass outfit. I was motherfucking close. So, with that said, maybe you should believe me this time. Maybe you should trust in Mimi when I say I don't think it's a work this time. And if it is, he needs to be an actor. Get him a movie script. Um, but I don't think so because one of the key differences that I note is one of the I just talked about Ilya. Yeah. So yeah, 7 Pacific Sports for You Wrestling. So one of the things that I noticed, or one of the things that I'm like, okay, work versus not a work. The first time he played up, you notice he played up that injury right in the ring, like live. He played it up like he tweaked it. And even when he played it up like he tweaked it, I even was looking at him and I was like, that doesn't look like that serious of enough tweak. Granted, I guess the man in the past has got his is known for just getting injured all the damn time. So maybe to y'all who were seasoned wrestling fans, you really thought like, oh yeah, he is hurt. I was like, no, not quite. And I was actually, oh, that's another thing I wanted to recap too, actually. I was kind of comparing it to, I know it's kind of apples and oranges, but Zoe Stark, who had just got her fucking knee, like that was like, you could see that shit. That was damn. Um, Speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw, she gave an update about her recovery is going very well. Just real quick here, because I actually do want to share that. Hold on. We will come back to Raw just a second. Um, so Zoe Stark took to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and she's giving an update on her injury. She rehab is going very well, and she said that she's looking forward to returning to the ring. I'm not sure how soon. I'm not going to play the video because of copyright issues, but there's the post. This injury tested me in ways I didn't expect. Progress doesn't always look pretty. It just takes consistency, patience, and faith. Counting the days till I'm back. So I thought that was a really good update because, and I really found that important. That's why I really wanted to stop and acknowledge that and share that because everyone kind of forgot about her. Like I feel like everyone kind of forgot about her. Like poor Zoe Stark. Like she kind of just like, oh yeah. So that's why I wanted to share that. Um, so yeah, so compared to that, I was like thinking about that and comparing those two, which again, I admit, apples and oranges. But Seth really worked, unintended. He really worked it in the ring with that first injury. He really worked that performance. He played it up. Then he was limping out, everything like that. Like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Then he kept talking. Then another clue, he kept talking about he was going to go to the doctor and give updates and things of that nature. He never did. But he was still making appearances. He was still making public appearances, interviews, and everything like that. So this one, mm-mm, this time, not so much. He did the match, the crown jewel match, put on a great performance, won the crown jewel title and ring, and took his happy ass on. That was it. Period. The end. Didn't play up nothing, didn't say nothing, and then all of a sudden, and then even hides the brace on Raw. So, um, that's why I am, there's just multiple things that kind of point to for me thinking that this is not a work. However, things happen. 50-50 chance it could be a work, it could not be a work, but I don't think it is. So, Raw opens up with that. We got some great moments with that. Becky told Paul Heyman the fuck off. And I think that's gonna come back to bite. I think that's gonna come back to bite her ass in the end. Of course. I mean, it's Paul fucking Heyman. Duh. Uh, so um, yeah. Let me go back to my Raw. Hold on. Okay. So that happens. The highlights for me, uh, new tag champions. Thank the Lord. They took these belts off of Lord Farquaad, aka JD McDonough, and Finn Balor. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord. Thank the wrestling gods. Like, I am glad to see um, AJ Styles, and especially now AJ Styles and um, Dragon Lee. So, yes, this is freaking awesome. I agree, the movement. I totally agree. New tag champions. I am happy with that. How do y'all feel about that? Also, Dom is a lucky son of a bitch. Shout out to 619. Hey. He lies, cheats, and steals, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this for him. I mean, I can't, I've said this before, like, I can't, he's from San Diego. He represents the 619. I can't hate him. Even though, like, he did all the things and everything with, like, Rhea and he betrayed her and all that shit. I'm sorry, Rhea. Please don't be mad at me. But even when he does his bullshit, he's, I gotta support my fellow San Diegan. I can't hate him. Not to mention, he's just, I don't know, he just has this like, he has like this thing where it's like he's just like, he seems like really chill, like out of his character. I don't know. I just can't hate it. So I was happy to see, even though he's been lying, cheating, and stealing his way through his championships reign, should say. Um, um, I'm here for it. I am absolutely positively here for it. Go Dom, go. Um, yeah. And then, okay, to my shock, fast forward, then we had the match between Stephanie Vaquer. Did I get it right this time? Stephanie Vaquer. I think I got it right. Okay. because I was calling her Stephanie Vaquer because of freaking Naomi. Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne. So there was that match. Um, Stephanie retained, which uh, duh. Stephanie retained, and uh, of course, afterwards, um, of course, afterwards, Roxanne and Raquel jump her afterwards because they're haters. But you know, it's what they do. Sore losers hate. Okay, it's what they do. All right. So then Nikki Bella comes out to save Stephanie, to help her out, to have her back. And now, does Nikki have an ulterior motive? I don't know. Possibly. Nessa, if you're watching or listening still, I'm sure you probably think she does have an ulterior motive. I don't know. Time will tell. But what grabbed my attention, the screen goes black, which usually means wardrobe malfunction. The screen goes black, and then we come back after the delay. It was like a good, like, what, 10 seconds or something? We come back, and Nikki Bella is holding her shirt. Like she's trying to hold it together. Like she's trying to contain her titties. You can kind of see right here in the photo. She's kind of see how she's like holding it. Yeah. So, Nikki girl. Well, she probably didn't expect that because if you look at this shirt, like it looks like a full covered, like she even had like a jersey on top of that, like a shirt on top. So she probably didn't expect that to happen. Um, but I've said this once and I will say it again. Nikki, and Nikki, and she probably knows better. Maybe she forgot. I don't know. Nikki, JC, because JC had hers came out too. As an ex for a short stint burlesque performer, uh, pasties and carpet tape are your best friend. I mean, even if it was a pasty, because Super Bowl, Janet Jackson had pasty on, and they still, had to edit that out or whatever, right? So yeah, just carpet tape. I know that sounds painful, and it kind of is. It does hurt when you take it off. But if you maybe just if you know you're going to be doing a lot of stuff and you got titties, put some tape in, like put carpet tape, tape yourself to your shirt. Okay. Just tape yourself up the best you can. Carpet tape is very in and sweat proof. It pretty much is sweat proof. Um, yeah, that's my advice to the women of WWE. Carpet tape. Not the little shirt tape that you get in the store. No, 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 no. Carpet tape because it'll keep you in, and if you're sweating, it should still stay on. So it's my advice. But yeah, that happened. I'm like, damn. Ugh. I recognize that blackout because, like I said, it happened because it happened with JC at the last NXT PLE. And then that's when, everyone was talking about it, like, oh yeah, something happened. That's usually what happens. I'm like, wow. Last thing about WWE. So The battle royale, the men's battle royale for to have to be the number one, to be a contender to face CM Punk at the Sunday night main event for the title that Seth Rollins had to drop because of his injury. So I just thought about, if this is a work and he shows up, I don't think it's gonna, I think it's gonna, if he does show up, I don't think it's gonna be like drop the crutches or drop whatever and still, I don't think it's gonna be that. I think it's just gonna be like, I think CM Punk is gonna get it. I think CM Punk's gonna get the title at Saturday night main event. And then if Seth Rollins does show up, it's gonna be just to kind of be like to warn him, like I'm coming back for that type of thing. Um, so anyways, there was a battle royale. It was like a Royal Rumble style looking. Well, except minus the like countdown. But battle royale, and Jay Uso ends up winning. Jimmy helps Jay twice, and to keep him from falling out of the ring. Because if you fall out the ring, both feet are on the ground, you're out. Jay helped Jimmy twice. And then Jay actually didn't help Jimmy when he needed it. But Jay is listening to Roman. Roman Reigns was telling him, you got to stop helping everyone else. You got to help yourself, basically, right? So now he's listening. He's heeding that advice. Um, Jimmy was pissed off, of course. However, I want to go back to the segment of them talking in the locker room because Jimmy was a little heated. He was a little like puffing his chest out. He was like, we go in there, I'm going in, and that includes going in on you. Jimmy said that. I'm not gonna, not verbatim, but like just basically was saying that. And he was the kind of like, he had some oomph behind that. Like Jimmy was like, yeah, like, and Jay was like, okay, cool, bet. So fast forward to Jay winning. And technically, it looks like, if you watch the footage, it looks like Jay pushed like Jimmy over. I forgot who Jimmy was holding back. Was it LA Knight? They were both holding onto the rope, I think. And then it's supposed to be like Jimmy like pushing them over, kind of like helping them over. He kind of didn't, actually. He didn't help them over. And if you go back and watch it, he didn't touch them. I don't know if it was like on purpose. He didn't, he was like, I don't know if he missed the mark. It was supposed to have done that, or if it was supposed to be like he didn't, it was supposed to look like he didn't do it, because he didn't. If you watch it, and I rewinded it, he didn't touch them. They were already basically kind of over, and the momentum honestly kind of sent them both over. So it was the momentum that did it, not Jay. So I'll say that. That's one. Two, Jimmy, why are you mad? I get that your brother, you helped him, that's your twin, you helped him, but you was bucking up at him saying that you were gonna bring it, and that you weren't gonna basically you weren't gonna take it easy on him. So he took that and it's like, okay, yeah, bet. Like, I'm not gonna take it easy either. Y'all agreed on it. So why are you mad? And again, shout out to ATD for encouraging me to watch Bloodline, Roman Reigns related storyline to kind of go back and catch up on that. Um, I'm happy that, I mean, I wasn't expecting Jay to win. Honestly, I was expecting LA Knight to win. I had LA Knight for it. I did, because of just how everything has just led up to this moment, like the feuding, everything coming out. And I just knew it was going to be LA Knight. And I'm not the only one. But I just thought LA Knight was gonna LA Knight, yeah, it was gonna be his moment. Nope, it was Jay. Which I'm surprised by. But I mean, things leading up for Jay too and how his story's been, it makes sense for him as well. So at I'm not mad at how things went down for Jay. I'm happy for him considering the story, his story and how he's been just basically kind of like gaslit, manipulated, all these things that he's kind of went through in his career. And so it makes sense. Toxic slime. Hey, toxic slime. Triple A's keeps burying my night. Yeah, that's what, you're not the only one. Hold on. Like I said, I'm not the only one who thought that it was going to be LA Knight. Yeah, you're not the only one who thought it was going to be his moment. I really thought it was going to be his moment too, like legit. Like I said, I'm not mad that it's not, but I really thought it was going to be his moment as well. So Dallas Cash, again, shout out to Dallas Humble Roses podcast. Let me share my screen. He goes into a little bit more depth. And I saw this and I'm like, um, this is a good take. He says, at this point, what is the real reason WWE has dropped the ball with LA Knight? Clearly has a great feud he can go into with Punk, but I'm convinced he may not see a world title until someone either gets injured or it's far too late. Knight has been getting the short end of the stick in all three Money in the Bank matches, and even tonight in the Battle Royale. That was Royale, whatever. Anyways, unless they have got a WrestleMania moment tucked in for him next year, I see this pattern continuing. I feel for him and hope he can capture world champion gold soon. I do. I like this. I do agree. Um, and I mean, isn't, even as someone, we're actually going to put that back up. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. Even as someone who is just coming into wrestling, kind of getting back into it. Like I said, I peep shit. For me, it's not really hard to um, pick up on things. And I see this. I see it. And it does suck for LA Knight. And I agree. I hope that he can really have his moment soon. I agree. However, you kind of have to look at, because I started watching and I actually did finish watching Natalia's interview. She was interviewed by Chris Van Ville. I think now I know how to pronounce it. I think it's Ville. I heard on his podcast. He pronounced it. So it's Ville, I believe, or Villette. I think it's Ville. And he interviewed Natalia. And she had she was mentioning how she, like, on the back end, how she at times felt like she wasn't ready to be champion. How she wasn't ready as she really wasn't fighting for herself, but she did start fighting for herself, but then she kind of went back once she lost the Divas Championship. She kind of went back into a hole where she wasn't fighting for herself anymore. And it makes me wonder if LA Knight is kind of doing the same thing. Like, because we don't know behind the scenes. What we see is on screen. We see the talent. We see it, right? But he has to see it in himself, in, like, behind the scenes. And he has to be ready for it. And I wonder if that's the case, or I wonder if there's just something else going on, like, kind of like WWE, for some reason, Triple H just doesn't, I don't know. There's just something, maybe something else is going on. Maybe a dislike or something. Toxic line. Also, when will Big Jim get a singles title win? That's a good question. Point right now is not the time to really, not say it's not the time to ask that question, but considering that he has a pregnant Naomi at home, and this pregnancy for her is like really important, because she's had issues with getting pregnant and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very sensitive. So I'm sure that he wants to be there for her every step of the way. So right now would not be a good time. Now, what they can do is set him up for one, which, this whole storyline with him and Jay, him versus Jay, and like kind of that whole thing again, they could run that back. So Jay could put himself in a position to either get the championship, or um, kind of be in that, like, contendership again. Maybe he doesn't get it at Saturday Night Main Event. Maybe Punk gets it, but then let the storyline keep building up, playing out, and then eventually, when the baby is born, things of that nature, when Jimmy is ready, then um, then they'll then they can do it. And of course, with that means, even with that, like, what it also depends on other things going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, other players, other key players that could keep that story going and support and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Timing, I'm really starting to learn with WWE. And I don't know about other wrestling promotions. I'm assuming other wrestling promotions is the same thing. Timing is everything. Like, seriously, timing is everything, and they're all one big, like, team, and if one kind of falls, then it affects the other, and then you have to pivot. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really realizing that. I'm really seeing that. Yeah, yeah. No, no worries. Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, that's what I think that is. But there is the build. And it also could be the build with, maybe it could be a build for both of them. Maybe eventually we'll get, like, for the title, for a title, we'll get a Jimmy and LA Knight. So, Toxic Slime, just out of curiosity, if you're still with me, um, if it was like if it was between Jimmy and LA Knight, who would you give it to? Um, I don't know my answer. I think it would kind of have to, I don't know, it would kind of, again, timing. It would kind of have to depend on the moment, what feels, what kind of looks, I don't know. But yeah, so again, I'm happy for Jay. Um, I don't know if he's gonna take it again. And then, of course, like per usual, Um, there are people who are now kind of highlighting like, oh, people don't like this about Jay and like all the dislikes. The video got this many dislikes. And it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, and see, you know what? Honestly, don't shut the fuck up because that actually adds to Jay's story and momentum because he's constantly been the underdog. He's constantly been like the underdog. He constantly gets swept under the rug, even by his own family, by his cousin, by his twin brother sometimes. Like, yeah, yeet. Yeetin' ain't easy. I need that shirt. I need that shirt. I need to get that. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Damn, kind of want some more coffee. But it's a little bit like into the afternoon now. Um, okay. Oh, you're a new viewer. I don't recognize your name. Hi. Um, Sub Hankit Banjari 2. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the Mimi Morning Show. Um, welcome to the Mimi Morning Now Afternoon Show. But yay, a new viewer. You're the second new viewer on YouTube. This is actually really cool. Thank you. So I don't, this person says, I don't know about timing. Like they've been dragging things out for a long time in the name of long-term storytelling. Fans are hopeless at the point IG, I guess. Him and Drew both are suffering right now. Yeah, Drew too. Drew too. I agree. Drew as well. Drew McIntyre. Yeah, he needs his moment. Yeah, very true. I mean, I guess there is such a thing as like, I mean, guess just like with any company, with any, there's politics. And if you don't politic correctly, you get put in the back. I mean, we saw that with Killer Cross, right? Perfect example. You know, and that's why I can relate to that, to Killer Cross and Scarlett's story. Like I can relate to that so much because I'm not willing to play the politic game. I am who I am. You get what you get. I will bust my ass. I will put my energy and everything. But I'm also, especially now at this point in my life, I'm not gonna sacrifice my happiness. I'm not gonna sacrifice my, my feelings and, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I did that for years and it still got me nowhere. So now, at least now I'm happy, you know? Thank you for that. Thank you for commenting and watching. I appreciate it. Hey, ATD. Hey, ATD. Oh, it's Leslie. Hey, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, you guys, please make sure that you are following the rest of the Culture Clash Network family. We're on fire right now. Like, we are on fire. And we're just doing what we do. Like, there's no formula. It's just show up and be authentic. Um, so yeah, shout out to Culture Clash Network family. Acknowledge the Dynasty podcast. Make sure that you are following them on X and on X is ATD Podcast 23 and also on YouTube. Make sure you're following them on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to them on YouTube because they are doing a giveaway. Once they get to, I believe it's 500 followers, you can correct me, Leslie. And then, oh, I need to add you guys to my marquee here. I need to add your Acknowledge the Dynasty profile, YouTube profile. So add that. Can you add that in the chat for me, Leslie? Like your YouTube screen name, so I can add that to my marquee here. Um, yes. So make sure that you are tuning in to acknowledge the dynasty, and also please be sure to send good energy and wellness to Russell Faith of Acknowledge the Dynasty podcast. She has not been feeling well very lately. So we're wishing her a speedy recovery. Okay, so let's get back. So that was Raw. Now we're going to briefly, now I'm going to recap NXT. NXT and then some other kind of WWE news and um, wrap up the Mimi Morning Now Afternoon show, because that's now what's happening. It is now turning into the afternoon show. Thank you, everyone who has been listening and viewing so far. I am at the 2 hour mark, just crossed 2 hours. So thank you, Nessa. Thank you, thank you. Yes, and Tasty Talks. Yes, I do have another episode that dropped, audio only episode um, that dropped. I'm gonna go ahead and actually do one of these. Um, so yes, I do have a Tasty Talks episode that dropped. You can catch that on Apple, YouTube, or Spotify. So NXT. So NXT, I kind of missed okay, acknowledge the dynasty. Is that T capitalized and acknowledge the dynasty? I just want to make sure I get it right. Or no? I think it is, right? Anyways, yeah. Okay. So NXT again, yesterday NXT happened. I caught some, hold on. Let me change. My logo is kind of, no, it's not. Okay, cool. Just making sure. There we go. Move my logo so you can see the comments. All right, cool. Y'all add that. So NXT again, NXT happened yesterday. I started watching after the Culture Clash network meeting. So did I miss some of it? I don't know. I just logged on late. I was like, the meeting happened, and then um, I was trying to get ready to do I was trying to make sure that I put Tasty Talks out. AWS was broken, kind of messed things up. We all know that. Addressed that earlier. So when I came into NXT, I think I missed let me check my notes because I did it in order. So, okay. Okay, yes. Okay, so this was actually before. Okay. So Sol Ruka comes on and she is injured. And there's this whole thing in the middle of the ring, whole spiel. Ava's there, Zaria's there. And her championships are in question, right? So then, of course, Blake Monroe comes out and interrupts, says her piece. Oh, I'd be happy to take that off of you. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Zaria comes in defense and is like, PLDR, no bitch, fuck you. And then she offers, to defend the title at Halloween Havoc. Okay, clarifying the title. So Zarya then um, says, you know what? No, I will, on your behalf, Soul, I will defend the Women's North American Championship, the NXT Women's North American Championship for you against Blake Monroe. That's going to be at Halloween. That match is taking place, Halloween Havoc, which is taking place this Saturday. So then now we have that match. And I wanted to kind of talk about NXT Halloween Havoc real quick, but now that we are going into the afternoon and I'm going to wrap up here soon and plug Sports for You Wrestling was actually going to cover. So we can actually continue this conversation. You can continue the more in-depth Halloween Havoc conversation with Sports for You Wrestling tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So that's happening. We're gonna have Blake versus Zarya for the Women's North American NXT North American Championship. Soul is like, you know what? I trust you. Go ahead, have at it. Do y'all think that it is a good idea for Soul to give all this trust in Zarya? I mean, it makes sense considering the storyline and um, it makes sense considering the storyline and what's happened to this point and how Zarya has um, proven herself to be trustworthy, right? She's had Soul's back, but they have had some kind of back and forths, haven't they? Some like disagreements. And then, of course, like once Zarya gets that championship, once she's actually holding it, because I think she's going to get it. I think she's going to get it. I mean, although Blake, or it could be, you know, she loses it, Blake gets it, and then that's what kind of causes the additional like contention between Zarya and Soruka. So, what do y'all think in the chat? On X, on YouTube, on the arena? What do you guys think? So, and I honestly didn't know that I didn't know that she got injured in the ring, like during that match. That was that tag match on SmackDown. I didn't know. So she played that off well, or maybe I wasn't really paying close enough attention. At what point did that might have had that have happened? Excuse me. I'm guessing maybe it was when she was distracted by Blake in the audience, which why was she distracted by Blake? Girl, keep your eye on the ball. You know what I mean? Like there was kind of there was a girl, ignore that bitch, you know? So, and then so I'm continuing to watch NXT. I see OTM. I missed the speed match. Um, but OTM kind of fine. Just saying. And I missed that part because of again, I mentioned earlier the epicness of Dallas Cash, his recap of Killer Cross's like docu-series. So Killer Cross came up with has been doing his documentary. I'm calling it a docu-series because it's been like a documentary, like it's one big work. I guess it's called One Big Work. And then this part was called My Life After WWE. So that actually, I will put that if you did not catch that, if you did not catch that episode, here you go. So this is, uh, yes. So you can watch that replay. I dropped in the comments for you. Make sure you watch that. It's good. I mean, his docu-series has been any filming type of thing he does, like this is just great. And it also gives a lot of insight, and it's also very motivational and inspirational. So go ahead and give that a watch that replay. But Dallas again was recapping that on a very special episode of Humarosa's podcast, which will be live tonight during its regular scheduled timing, which is every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So it ended up being a very special um, live because not only is Dallas just a very passionate and authentic and endearing fan of Cross, um, but Cross actually came through on the live. So I got distracted by that. They were on the live, and I kind of missed a little bit of NXT. So my notes are kind of hopping around. Kind of said, "Oh shit, this is happening. Oh, this is epic. Ah, holy shit chance." Okay. So then fast forward, I missed the speed match. I think I missed a couple of other things, but I did catch Kendall Gray. I did catch the Kendall Gray and Lash Legend segment. Um, looks like it was towards the end here. And even though I've only been watching WWE evolve for a little bit, I've only caught like a couple of episodes. I had my eye on Kendall Gray. Again, like for me, as someone who just kind of picks up on things, coming in and catching up on storylines and everything, it's kind of easy for me. I'm picking up what the talent is putting down all around. And Kendall Gray, I'm like, yeah, she gonna be that one. She's on the up and comings. Her rivalry with Callie Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of like their matches, their back and forths have been great. Both of them. Shout out to both of them, Kendall Gray and Callie Armstrong. But yeah, so her coming up in NXT and having that segment with Lash Legend, who snatched her edges just a little bit. Now, Kendall girl, check your edges. She kind of snatched you there. Lash snatched you a little bit there. She kind of did. But she held her own. And she comes in, championship on her shoulder. She's confident and she steps to her. And I respect that. After that, I did see, I believe it was a tag match with Tatum Paxley um, against Fatal Influence. Um, and then, was it a tag match? Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, if you watched it. Um, yeah, but I did, because again, I was also editing. So even though I believe Tatum Paxley took the L, But when Fatal Influence was trying to jump her afterward, she defended herself and she got a hold of that title for a second. So it kind of makes me think that at Halloween Havoc this coming Saturday, NXT Halloween Havoc, that Tatum Paxley is going to take that title off of JC. Lola didn't do it. I was rooting for Lola, but maybe Tatum will. What do y'all think? Next, after that, and finally, um, Trick Williams and Ricky's contract signing. So I think that Trick Williams, he's a cocky son of a bitch. I think that's gonna work against him on Saturday. But Ricky came back at him. His veins were popping the fuck out. And I don't know. What do y'all think? Are we getting a trick or treat on Saturday? Are we getting a trick or are we getting a treat? Trick or treat? Trick or treat? And then so it looks like the 2025 so far, the match card for Halloween Havoc is gonna be pretty good. I don't know the current match card as of yet. I don't know all the matches yet. I meant to research that and kind of talk about that. But again, if you want more insight, if you want to kind of jump in on that conversation later on, you can. So, Sports for You Wrestling can pick up from where I left off this evening. Make sure that you tune in for that conversation. And then I did have some other kind of recaps. I already talked about Zoe Stark and her injury update, and how she has mentioned that it's been a hard journey, but that she's reporting like she's really excited to get back into the ring. So we could see her. I don't think she said a timeline, but we could be seeing her back soon. And I really wanted to, again, I'm kind of like circling back on that because everyone kind of forgot about Zoe Stark. So yeah, so I follow her and I was actually kind of glad to see that her update on my page it was on my For You part. And then of course, you know what? Since it's still Rhea-tober, um, we're gonna end talking about Rhea Bloody fucking Ripley. Also, too, because I mean, she actually had an injury. So her nose is broken. And as you all know, shout out to Today in Historia. Love this account. Um, Today in Historia points out that when Ria's injury happened, it was 3 days short of the 1 year anniversary of the last time she broke her face. Rhea breaks her face. And then she says, Rhea, you need to find a new way to scare us for Halloween. This shit ain't it. And I agree. Um, so sending more healing energy to Rhea Bloody fucking Ripley, my fave, wishing her a speedy recovery. And yeah, don't know how long. I haven't really seen any reports about how long she'll be out for. I don't know if she said anything, but do you think we're gonna get another? Everyone's kind of like anticipate, thinking, are we gonna get another mask moment? Are we? Um, Especially with like what War Games is coming up like next month. So I don't know, but wishing you a speedy recovery, you badass woman, you. So, with that said, I think that's all I have. Got through everything. So that's it. That's all I have. And that's actually really good timing because it is 12:57 p.m. Pacific. So the Mimi Morning Show has turned into the Mimi Afternoon Show, early afternoon show. So thank you all for joining in and watching and listening over the last now a little over 2 hours. Again, I really appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate the new viewers and listeners who've been coming in on YouTube, on the Arena app, on X. Thank you so much. I really do enjoy doing this. It's fun. And also, if you would like to be a guest on the Mimi Morning Show, let me know. We'll just kind of, last week I had a guest and we recapped things together. We talked a little bit about her, got to know her, and then we did some recapping, and it was a key. It's fun with me, you know? And then if you want to be on Tasty Talks, let me know as well. So that is that can be live or pre-recorded, like recorded, and then I edit it later. And I'm really excited to be recording a episode tomorrow, which I need to kind of focus on that today so I can get questions ready or finish getting questions ready for that person. It is this, so the next episode of Tasty Talks will be wrestling. Actually, the next two episodes will be wrestling related. So the guests will be pro wrestling related folks in the industry. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks and doing those interviews and sharing them with you guys. Tasty Talks, the audio version of Tasty Talks is out now. The last two have been tech related. I guess I'm kind of doing this whole like like two on tech, two on wrestling. It's kind of been going back and forth. Um, So, Tasty Talks is out now. You can listen on Spotify, um, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can follow Tasty Talks and myself, but Tasty Talks on X at Tasty Talks Pod. And you can also click the barcode and follow the Twerking Techies journey. So you can scan that barcode. All my web links are in there. So you'll get Tasty Talks web links. You can follow me on other social media platforms. Um, I have a digital store on there, a link to that. I have a link to my book. Yes, I have a book. It is, I published my mom's poetry and then also wrote additional context around said poetry, and then also gave a little bit of background of myself. And that book is on Amazon, and that link is in my web links. So just click that or just scan that QR code right there for all of that information. Uh, and also, give you a moment to do that. Also, I want to give a shout out to, again, Culture Clash Network and our partners, W Energy and Tacos and Tequila. For W Energy, if you're looking for jitter-free energy, check out W Energy. They and you can also get 10% off of your order with my um, code Evelyn Mimi J at checkout. I'm dropping that in the chat right now. And also, if you are a new live streamer, if you're new to content creation, if you're a new content creator, live streamer, I right now, and you like what you see, you like the setup um, of my stream, I am, I actually use Restream, and Restream has been pretty good so far. Um, and it's been pretty good so far, other than them relying on AWS. But I wasn't trying to go live on Monday anyway, so there's that. Um, so I have a coupon code for that as well. So I use Restream.io. You can get $10 towards your upgraded plan using my promo link, which I'm going to drop in the chat right now. Where is it? There we go. Yes, shout out to CCN. Thank you, Backstage Brawl, for sure. So hey, Backstage Brawl, tapping in. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate the support. Big shout out to CCN for sure. Um, yeah. So it'd be kind of cool. Maybe we can do a collab. Maybe you can be on the Mimi Morning Show or maybe on Tasty Talks. Let me know if you're interested. But yes, please make sure that you're following CCN and support us in all the ways you can. Continue to watch, tune in, to engage with posts, repost everything. It is not going unnoticed. And thank you. Very much appreciated on this journey. Thank you so much. So with that said, I am now going to end the Mimi Morning Show, the Mimi Morning Now afternoon show. So if you like this show, you'll probably like also Tasty Talk. So make sure that you are following the podcast and you tune in there. And also keep tuning in on Wednesdays. Wednesdays at between 10 and 11 a.m. and then goes on till whatever. So thank you guys so much, everyone, for tuning in, and ciao for now.